at the RC Garage. In this video, I'll be unboxing my Team Associated RC10 B74.2 team kit. This is a 4-wheel drive, 1/10 scale off-road buggy, and this specific one is for carpet or astroturf. So I'm super excited today because this is a personal car of mine, and this is actually the first time I've pre-ordered a kit or ordered it, as soon as it came out. So pretty excited. The box does come sealed. I just cut 2 of the seals here and here. And look, I think there's another seal right here. Let's cut that and then kind of go through some of the box. Kind of shows you the kit features. Let's see, other side of the box, and on this side has some images that kind of show what's new about the car itself. So I've done a lot of research on this car, on this buggy, and come to find out, I've read the associated press release and things like that. So what it seems like, there's new front lightweight gearboxes, and there's 2 sets that come with it. It's a fixed height gearbox, so you either get 0 or +2 millimeter diff height options. On the rear, if you have RC10 B6, 6.1, 6.2, 6.3, 6.4, they have these inserts that allow you to change the diff height. So this one comes with something like that, so you can adjust your diff height from 0, +1, +2, or +3. Another thing that's new, and the B64 has it, is the 13 millimeter aluminum shocks. And so it seems like a theme for this car was to get it more lightweight, get it to handle bumps and jumps better, lower the CG. So the other thing is they've got new gull wing front suspension arms and shock tower, and that's to basically lower the center of gravity and better steering predictability. And from what I've read and the research I've done, is that you might have a little less sharp or snappy steering initially, and then in mid corner and exit you have a lot of steering and a lot of feel. So that seems to be what you want to go for, especially on carpet, because you have so much grip anyway. Mid corner and exit speed would be great in the turn. The other thing that's new is the LTC differential gear sets. So from my understanding, LTC stands for low torque capacity. So it sounds like the older or previous generation differential gears were not this way. And so when the diff gears got loaded up, they would kind of act like if you had heavier diff oil in there, and they would kind of lock up and bind under power. So the LTC differential gear sets give more predictable power. It reduces binding, and it's smoother throughout the turn when you're getting on the power. I believe the kit comes with metal LTC gears. There's also optional plastic LTC gears that you can get to reduce your rotating mass to have better acceleration. I'm probably going to run with the stock gears for now, since I'm new to this class, and then once I get better, if I need a little bit more performance, then I'll look into getting the plastic gears. Another thing that's new for this buggy is the new battery hold down system. They use like a rubber O-ring strap instead of the crappy associated mounts that they used to have, that you had to put in like 2 screws to hold it in, or 2 nuts to hold it in. That's always a pain in the butt. I don't like it on the B6.3 that I have. They also went with 3.5 millimeter turnbuckles with updated rod end ball cups to increase the durability and bind in the suspension. I know a lot of people would upgrade to the titanium rods, and those are already 3.5, and a lot of people would have to drill out the old ball cups to make it work. So I'm kind of excited to see if the ball cups are a little bit beefier than the old version, or the one that comes on, say, the B6.3 or the B6.4, because those have a tendency to pop out if you have a really bad landing or something like that. There's a new center bulkhead fan mount, so that's kind of cool. It mounts the fan above the motor, so you're actually pushing air onto the full motor can instead of just from one end. I don't know if I'm gonna run a fan. I'm probably gonna check the gearing. We usually only run maybe 5 or 7 minutes at most where I race at Houston RC. So I may want to not have that fan and, I guess lower my weight, lower the CG a little bit. May or may not help, but that's my plan for now. There's a new -2 millimeter wing mount to use with slicks or carpet tires. And that mount just basically lowers the wing in the rear and helps lower the center of gravity. Carpet has a lot of grip to begin with, so probably don't need to have a really high wing like you would on an off-road track that's a dirt. Has a new, has a new slipper clutch material, high load, high capacity, new LCF pad material. Don't know too much about that, so can't really speak to it. There's also a new +3 aluminum steering rack for optimized bump steer when you're at low ride heights. So that's kind of the general, what's new about this kit. Seems to be, geared towards lowering the CG, making it handle, jump, and land better, and also having good mid-corner on power steering from what it sounds like. So let's open this up and see what's inside. All right, so nicely packaged. This is the 5th kit that came to Houston RC. There's 5 of us that bought it right away. So hopefully there aren't any issues, since this might be like the first batch that was sent out. So let's set out our bags and then we can go through them. All right, so we have our rear wing. It's not pre-cut. We'll cut that out, not a big deal. We've got our body. I believe the body's actually lightweight. It's pretty thin, pretty flexible. I'm actually surprised they included this with the kit. It was usually an option part for most vehicles. The chassis right here has a slight kick up on the front. It's aluminum, nicely anodized. I think there's a small difference between the B74.1 and the B74.2. I think there's just like maybe one hole or a few holes that are different in the chassis. Nice chassis, just seems kind of lame initially speaking, just because it's thin and kind of flat. Not a lot of mill work or anything like that. But other than that, it's actually a very nice piece. I'm excited to put this together. So let's see, put that aside. We'll open the bag up in a sec, but we'll organize our bags real quick and we can go through what we have. So first and foremost, we have our shock oil and diff oils. Looks like 15K diff oil, 45 weight shock oil, and 35 weight shock oil, and also comes with a little tub of grease. we've got bag 1. Bag 1 looks like the side rails. I see an ESC tray. Battery strap system is in there as well. Bag 2 looks like the suspension arms, front and rear. You've got your A, B, C, and D blocks, your pills, nicely packaged. I think you should watch some of the videos that are online, especially Spencer Rifkin's video that he posted. He did mention that the holes in the control arms are tight, so to get a 3.5mm reamer to ream those out to make sure that the hinge pins are smooth when you install it. So I'll take a note of that when I do it, and I'll go ahead and explain what I did when I get to that bag. We've got bag 3, looks like the differential bag. So let's take a look. So yeah, the differential gears that come in the bag are metal, and out drives are in here as well. Everything looks nice. The diff cups and everything look nicely molded. The actual diff covers and diff gears, I think, are metal. Kind of surprised with that. So pretty excited to put that together. So bag 4 is, I'm pretty sure this is the front bulkhead, or no, actually this is the rear bulkhead. As you can see, these are the B6 style inserts that adjust the diff height. So this actually might be, I actually think this is the front and rear diff housing. So looks like this sprue here is the rear, and we have, looks like maybe the +0. Yeah, so this is the +0 and +2, and the +0, +2 diff housings for the front. And there's also, looks like maybe one of the center drive shafts is in here as well. We got bag 5. Looks like it has the shock towers, wing buttons, wing mount, shock standoffs, some ball studs in here as well. And it looks like the fan mount might be this piece here as well. So. The bag 6 looks like the steering assembly. See the aluminum +3 steering arm that they mentioned. So you've got that. It looks like your servo saver assembly and things like so. That's bag 6. Bag 7. Looks like we've got, it looks like the steering hubs, C-hubs, and front axles. So this is probably the front assembly for the steering. Bag 8. I think this is going to be the rear hubs and axles, and it's got the hexes as well in here. Bag 9 is the turnbuckles bag, so you can definitely tell the turnbuckles are beefier than the previous version and the B6, and the ball cups actually do look different. They actually do look a little bit beefier around the ball section, so really excited to try these out and see how big of a difference they make. And I actually wonder if there's a way to retrofit that onto the B6. Bag 10 looks like it's the center slipper clutch assembly and center mount, and actually surprised that these mounts are actually aluminum, and there's a little bit of carbon fiber bits in here as well. So pretty excited about that, since I've seen a lot of the center assemblies, or where the center diff or the center slipper clutch sits in, is usually made out of plastic, so that's cool to see. Bag 11, we've got the 13mm shocks. So it looks like all the seals, all the shock shafts, all the springs, all the rod ends that we need for the shocks. So pretty excited about this. Everyone at my local club raves about the 13mm shocks on the B6.4. Seem to handle a lot better than the B6.3. So pretty excited to see how these turn out on the B74.2. Bag 12 is the front and rear sway bar. And it looks like we have the sway bar hardware as well that goes along with it. And there's a 1.8mm. Looks like front and rear, they're both 1.8mm from the markings that I see on here. And the last parts bag is bag 13, and that looks like we've got the wheel nuts and the servo mount, servo horns, and things like that. So I see a lot of carbon fiber bits in there, so pretty excited to put this together. Let's go ahead and open up this bag with the manual in it and take a look to see what we have. So it looks like we have a little wrench. I think you use this wrench to hold the shocks while you tighten it up. You got some double-sided tape. It's probably going to be for your ESC and receiver. Got some window masks for the body. Got a strip of, it's kind of mangled up a little bit, but a strip of Velcro that we can use to hold the body on. See, I thought this body has some dimples here, front and rear, that I thought that this body is usually held in with body clips, but if it is, I'm going to take those off because I don't want to use body clips. I think the Velcro is more than enough to keep it on. All right, so we got a nice sheet of stickers. Associated B74.2 and the D. We don't want the D in there. All right, we got a little catalog for Associated products. So I guess this is kind of cool to have. And then the manual. So let's take a quick look through the manual and see what we got. I've done a lot of builds lately, and the latest build I've done is the Serpent. And what I hate about that is the fact that the manual is online. So it's nice to have a physical manual. That way you can take it with you to the track. And one thing I do enjoy about the Associated manual is page 3. It has all the hardware that you're going to need, has the part numbers, and has the life size picture and image of it, so you can actually, take your screw, put it up against here and be like, oh yeah, that's the one I need, or the bearings, that's the one I need, ball studs, you get the picture. So definitely find this helpful. And it's nice that they have it like so. So when you do the build, you can just kind of keep this page out and you have it ready to look at when you're doing your build. So It's not like the X-Ray where it has a colored manual, but I do find the manual pretty easy to read and to go by. I know some people have had issues where it shows a screw and it doesn't kind of tell you where it goes exactly, or it shows an O-ring and it doesn't really tell you where it goes. But please like and subscribe to the video, and if you subscribe and you watch my build video, if you have any troubles, you can reference it as you build, so that way if you have any issues, or if I have any issues, I'll definitely report it and you'll know what to expect when you're building your own kit. And also, I encourage you, if you have any issues, please post it in the video bag number that I post up, so that way any other hobbyists can see your tips or see your issues and how you resolved them, and we can help each other out. But yeah, so pretty straightforward manual in my opinion. Pretty standard Associated manual. Let's see, one thing I wanted to check. Kind of surprised that the diff oil that was given was the same front and rear. So it does say to weigh out your diff oil or your diff when you fill it up. So that's nice to do because you can have it be consistent. So it does say to just do 15K fluid front and rear. I believe on the website or on some of the setup sheets, I've seen a little different, especially if you end up using the plastic gears. I think they were recommending using like 20K in the front or 15 in the rear, something like that. So I'll do some research, and when I get to the diff casing, I'll report that as well. So overall, everything's nicely packaged, nothing looks damaged. Manual looks pretty clear. I see indications of when and where to use Loctite. A lot of manuals don't show that. So they seem to be pretty good about that. So it looks like there's a total of 13 bags. And the last thing is to install the servo and servo horn and solder everything up. So it's kind of nice that you don't necessarily need all your electronics, on the first few steps. So if you don't have it or you're waiting for it, you can get those in the mail or wherever you order it from while you build your kit. So, and it's nice that it comes with, looks like 2 setup sheets. It shows the stock setup. I think some people had mentioned there might be some discrepancies between the instructions and the setup sheet. So I'll keep an eye out for that, and I'll report it when I see it, and I'll try to report it in my review video as well. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you did, and please hit that notification bell to know when I post up the next video about this build. I'm gonna go ahead and start on the build now, and I'll continue to edit the video and try to post it up as quickly as possible, since I know a lot of people just got this kit and might need help with it. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.